Welcome back to Home Track Heroes on CW11, and we're going to look at the conclusion of our Rolling Thunder Big Rigs. But first, to talk about our segment sponsor is Central Welding Supply.
Yeah, Central Welding Supply, their mission of excellent service hasn't changed since 1975, a locally owned family business providing gases, safety, and welding supplies. Central Welding Supply's expert staff makes the difference. Find their 25 locations at centralweldingsupply.com, and they're a huge supporter of Evergreen Speedway, and we're very happy to have them on board again.
Yeah, wonderful sponsor, and so happy to have them sponsor this segment here this evening as we continue on with our Rolling Thunder Big Rigs. And it's been a great show so far, so we look for an exciting conclusion to the race this evening.
Yeah, Diamond Dave was making a hard charge there at the end on Brian Volk, as he's going to be all over that. Can you call that a back bumper on a truck? What is that? I don't even know. We'll call it a back bumper for now, but Diamond Dave was all over it, trying to get around the 27, and then the caution came out.
Yeah, now we see everybody stacked up. So you have the 27 of Brian Volk, the 10 car of our 10 truck of Diamond Dave, Dave Barr, and in third spot you have the 06 of Tire Tom, Tom Rayton, and back behind Tire Tom is the 9 of Tammy Hot Rod Williams, and right behind Tammy, I think that might be the 17 of Rob Johnson.
Yeah, so that's your top 5 rolling here to the green flag. It's all Brian Volk for now, as we're almost going to – is that 3 wide? Can we call that 3 wide for the trucks?
I think we have to, yeah. Look right there and right on the back hitch.
Yeah, so making it work. Yeah, that's what we call it, a back hitch of these trucks, as Diamond Dave almost going a little bit wide, open up the inside for Tire Tom, possibly going into turn number 3 here.
And then it's too bad you see that Hot Rod Tammy Williams there, who started and had a wonderful race early on in second, now just kind of dropping back into fourth. But now you see Diamond Dave almost go to the outside of Brian Volk in the 27 Tonka truck, but kind of sneaking back in and going in single file line. And now you see Tire Tom in that 06 truck going to the inside, but there goes Diamond Dave to the outside of Brian Volk as they go into turn number 3.
Yeah, and they're making a little bit of contact there for the race lead, and that's pretty tough to do, as we saw contact in that same spot during a heat race, and just ask Weston Smith how that turned out, because it was a pretty ugly wreck for him. But your new leader, Diamond Dave, with Tire Tom in third, Brian Volk in that 27 hanging tough.
Yeah, Brian is definitely hanging tough, and probably not exactly pleased to see Diamond Dave, Dave Barr, and that 10 truck go to the outside as they came down the front stretch. But now as they head down this time by, it's still Diamond Dave in the 10 truck. You have Brian Volk in the 27 and the 06 truck of Tom Rayton, and that's Tire Tom. And then back behind there's Hot Rod Tammy Williams still hanging on in fourth, so we'll see if Tammy's able to creep back up and get into that podium spot that she was occupying earlier.
Yeah, she's able to hold off the 17 of Rob Johnson so far, as we see a couple side-by-side battles inside the top 5. But here comes Tire Tom. He has his sights set on Diamond Dave, and he's now solely in the second position.
It's so fun for this race because we're just going back and forth with people's names as their nicknames as they are coming across. We have Tire Tom, Diamond Dave, we have Tall Caleb Thompson. So been a lot of fun to have all of these nicknames as they're going through the race this evening too.
And there we see Hot Rod Tammy Williams finally getting passed by Rob Johnson. But look at this battle for the lead with 10 laps remaining. Diamond Dave has a mirror full of Tire Tom as they go down off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, we'll see if Brian Volk, it looks like he's dropping back just a little bit in that yellow Tonka truck, the 27 Tonka truck there. But 06 Tire Tom, as they come into turn number 3 and out of turn number 4 down the front stretch, looks like they're getting too wide, and now it looks like he's about to take over, but looks like maybe still Diamond Dave able to eke out that first place spot. But we'll see what happens as they go out of turn number 2 down the back stretch.
Yeah, some great racing. The fans are loving this with the Rolling Thunder Big Rig side by side for the race lead, under 10 to go. And Tire Tom, he's hanging tough. He's in those rumble strips a little bit inside of turns 3 and 4, but it does seem to upset him as he now has sole lead. The fans loving it.
Yeah, they've definitely been enjoying this kind of back and forth, and to see these two trucks go too wide as they kind of go around. I think that was just almost about a complete lap of them too wide. It's been very exciting, but now we need to see Diamond Dave use that outside lane that he's used so much throughout this race to be able to go back up and catch up to Tire Tom and make it a really exciting finish.
Yeah, and here is the battle for third. A strong run from Rob Johnson late in this race as he's trying to get around the person who led a lot of laps early. that is the 27 of Brian Volk, as Volk almost had to lock up the truck from it going off the banking in 1 and 2.
Yeah, you see him kind of go a little bit wide there in turn number 1, heading down the backstretch, and so it is nice to see Rob Johnson jump into that third place spot and have a little bit more, challenge between the two of them. But right now it's still all the 06 truck of Tom Rayton, Tire Tom, with Diamond Dave just knocking on the door right behind. So we'll see what happens as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of run Diamond Dave is able to do. You said he's been using that little bit higher line, a little bit more banking up there, trying just to carry momentum around. But I think Tire Tom knows that, so he's going up there and blocking that lane now with just 5 laps remaining in the Rolling Thunder Big Rigs main event.
So we'll see here. Tire Tom is, like you said, kind of blocking and doing a really good job taking that high lane as they go down the backstretch. There's Diamond Dave, and it doesn't look like the 17 of Rob Johnson in that 17 truck is anywhere near them. So it's just really right now a battle between Tire Tom and Diamond Dave, as you see now just coming into your screen, the 17 of Rob Johnson in that sole third spot.
Yeah, and the one thing Tire Tom may have to deal with is some lap traffic. You see that not far in front of them. Diamond Dave almost hanging some tires off on the dirt going down the back straightaway. That's not the fast way around this track for sure. But yeah, looks like we maybe see the 7 truck up there, Zach Bryant in front of your race leaders. So that might spell trouble for Tire Tom, and that might be all the help Diamond Dave needs.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely the crowd is getting into it at this point and love to see this kind of battle. And so hopefully we see something a little bit closer than this as they head down the backstretch. And right now Tire Tom has built a pretty consistent or feasible lead out there in front of Diamond Dave. So we'll see as they get into that kind of traffic issue that you're talking about here in turn number 4. But you see Tire Tom able to get around that 7 truck of Zach Bryant pretty easily.
Yeah, now it looks like the 96 of tall Caleb Thompson is the only thing standing between Tire Tom and a win with just a few laps remaining. I believe they'll be getting the white flag this time by, so just a lap and a half remaining. We'll see if Diamond Dave has anything left in the tank for Tire Tom.
Yeah, this time by as they come down the front stretch, it's going to be the 06 of Tire Tom getting the white flag there. Diamond Dave, you have 1 lap remaining. Let's see what you can do as they come into turn number 1, out of turn number 2 and into the backstretch. It's Tom Rayton, Tire Tom, and the 06 trucks. Diamond Dave trying to catch up a little bit as they come around into turn number 3. Yeah,
I don't think there's just enough track left for Diamond Dave, but here comes, it's all Tire Tom hanging a little bit sideways off of turn number 4. Tune that horn for the fans coming across the line, as I believe you caught up with our top 3 down here at the Angel of Winds podium.
So you kind of snuck ahead at the very end. You had a great race, but you were kind of hanging a little bit back, but then you snuck ahead, and then you kind of kept off Diamond Dave as the crowd was cheering. I liked you a lot, Tire Tom. I think you have a great nickname. Tell us how much fun you had out in front of 2,500 people tonight.
Hey, it's always fun anytime we can come out here and put a show on for these guys, and, it's just as much fun for us in the trucks as it is for them.
So I think I lost a lot of respect from people out in the crowd tonight because I was cheering on Tire Tom. And I liked you a lot in the heat race earlier, but you had one heck of a race. You had a lot of people loving to cheering you on, Diamond Dave. Tell us how much fun you had out here tonight.
It is a lot of fun. I'm not going to hold that against you. Tom's a good driver over there, so I don't have any problem losing second place to him, so it's good.
Excellent. You guys put on a heck of a show. You had a wonderful crowd out here that was cheering you the whole way. How did that feel for you tonight?
It was great. It was great to be back out here on the track, come up here. You guys have supported us forever. And, this is a fun place to race. The people are good. It was great.
Tell us what it takes to get that truck out here on a weekly basis or, any other place that you're racing.
I have uncountless hours at the truck shop working on them. We, for like the last 2 months, have worked every Saturday, Sunday, Fridays, everything we could to get them all out here and going.
And what a great group of guys up there on the podium, putting on a phenomenal show for the fans. It was certainly a crowd favorite of the night was the Rolling Thunder Big Rigs.
Yeah, and you heard so many people cheering very loud. We were talking earlier about them stomping their feet, but it was so exciting to hear a capacity crowd with our limited capacity that we have, but to hear them making as much noise as they were, just so much fun to see the crowd get into it as much as they did.
Yeah, and we got a great Interstate Battery Hornet A main event to end the show tonight, as we'll roll into the starting lineup as we got the 81 of Bobby Fisher on the front row, pole position to his outside, the 69 of Zach Meyer.
Next row back, you have the 8 car of Luke Hattel. On the outside of Luke is the 5 of Jimmy Fox.
And then John Newbaum in the 13, brought to you by Richter Farm in Puyallup, Washington, is outside the 30 of Pat Folger.
Next row back is the 15 of Matt Snyder, brought to you by Twin Peaks Pub. On the outside of Matt is the 2G of Brad Gruhl.
And then in the next row, we got the 77 of Christian Miller. To his outside, the 00 of Dan Miller, brought to you by Exterior Wall Systems, Inc.
Next row back is the 66, brought to you by Alt Welding Supplies of Brandon Campbell. On the outside of Brandon is the 07 of Zach Bristol, sponsored by PMS Power Decals.
And in the next row, we got the 221 of Lyndon Smith. And to his outside, the 025, brought to you by Quality Roofing. That is Trent Gillespie.
Sponsored by Papa's Tavern, the 16 of Peyton Hopp. On the outside of Peyton is the 46 of Mike Hathaway, sponsored by Reppin Welding and Rail.
And then the last 2 of our B main transfers, we got the 43 of Damon Claiborne, sponsored by Raritan's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Monroe, and to his outside, the 03 of Lucas Hassenfluck. As we see the great field of Interstate Battery Hornets rolling through the funnel, going on to the 3/8 mile track, getting ready to go green flag racing as we are pushing time a little bit, so we're hoping to get all these laps in, hoping it's a smooth race for these drivers. To get as many laps in for them, but we do have a noise policy with the surrounding area to hopefully not go past curfew, but let's get some green flag laps going here as they roll off of 3 into turn 4. Green flag is out for the Interstate Battery Hornet main event. As we see right off the bat, that is the 5 of Jimmy Fox, your 4th place starter going around. That is a tough break for him right there.
Yeah, big time tough break. And now you see 3 wide and a little bit of maybe 4 wide right there as they go into turn number 2. But that action there as they go into turn 2 on the road course has been so exciting all night long, but tough break for the 5 car of Jimmy Fox.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to get it fired back up, and no, he's not. You see the caution lights come on as he's sitting right there. That's a pretty dangerous spot to be as we see how much speed they carry, but we're going to go inside with Brad Gruhl on this restart and see what he saw. He sees the 5 spinning there, coming through, and there goes the light out on his dash, as you can see, so the car stalled out from that contact as he's able to get fired back up and keep on going, but tough break there for Brad Gruhl.
Yeah, nice to see him be able to get going right away, but like you said, just really tough as they come into turn number 2 and head down the backstretch to kind of have that impact and have that field kind of travel so far ahead of him, because it was a good big field tonight too.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Fox not being able to get the car fired back up really helped out Brad because he stalled out after that contact, but like we said, we're fighting a curfew, so hopefully we can get some more green flag laps going for these drivers. They won't have to cut any short, but that's more up to the drivers at this point. Hopefully they can stay green and stay clean, but you try to tell a race car driver, take it easy, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah, and like you said too, it's so important for us to maintain what that curfew is, but really wanted to get these Interstate Batteries Hornet main events as many laps as we could in here tonight, because we know that there was still a good crowd out here watching to see the excitement that was unfolding.
Yeah, and we're back out trying to get the lineup in order. I think Jimmy Fox thinks he can get his spot back. We'll see what Brianne Barrow has to say about that. She might send him farther back in the pack as lights are going out on the Speedway Chevrolet pace car. Going to take a hard left turn. Looks like Jimmy Fox is able to regain his spot. So full restart for us here in the Interstate Battery Hornet A main event. Still 30 laps remaining. Zach Meyer and Bobby Fisher taking us to the green here out of turn 4.
Yeah, we'll see what the 81 car there, as you see on the inside, as they do get a green flag, and we're green flag racing once again. And there's the 69 of Zach Meyer as they come out of turn number 1 and into turn number 2. And here's the bottleneck that we saw earlier in the B main event, and it continues to be a bottleneck with such a large field of cars, but really exciting to see that. And there's the 03 of Lucas Hassenfluck, one of the racers that was in our B main event earlier on, that was able to get a top 4 finish and be able to come up into the A main tonight.
And same with our high point man, Damon Claiborne, as we got some contact up in front. Jimmy Fox once again, I think that's Campbell in the 66. They're going to make some contact with the inside wall, and they're not quite done wrecking. Dan Miller hops some tires, but we'll see if they're able to get fired back up. John Peterson waiting to trying to give some time, hopefully to stay green, and we're unfortunately not able to, as the 2 drivers not quite able to get off the wall and fired back up, but yeah, you see them right there, probably having a nice friendly conversation, right? Inviting each other over for dinner,
Yeah, I think talking about what they want to do after the race, maybe go to Buzzin' Steakhouse, who knows?
As we're going to get a replay right here with Peyton Hopp as he's got a nice shot on top of his car. Dan Miller there in front, Zach Bristol going around, and just a mess of cars. Claiborne, I don't think he really got on the brakes till right there. You see him lock him up as he was just trying to carry as much speed. We're going to go on board with Dan Miller right here in the 00.
Yeah, Yeah, and you see, look at all that action too from Dan Miller here, and you see there's the 66 of Brandon Campbell and the 5 of Jimmy Fox that kind of go into the wall there right on the front stretch. But really interesting to see as they come out of what we're calling turn number 5 and head into the sharp turn as they come around here to the start-finish line. But it's just so tough when you have that many cars to be able to keep things clean as they go in across the start-finish line.
Exactly, yeah, we just rode on board with Damon Claiborne right there. Here's Trent Gillespie in the 025. You saw him really working the wheel right there, as we will clean this mess back up and be here for the conclusion of the Interstate Battery Hornet main event.